we are going to talk about AI today, but just so you guys know, at the heart of this whole product, at the heart of my whole company, really what we're doing is we're focused on the home buyer and seller, just to be clear. We're talking about things that we help real estate professionals, mortgage professionals, with our platform, with our coaching, training, and all those sorts of things. But the only reason why we exist here at Huzi is because we care about the home buyer and seller deeply. And instead of going around the industry, like a lot of tech companies are trying to do today and trying to go right to the consumer, we believe in the professional. So what I'm going to show you today is not an automation tool. Yes, we have automations that I could show you, but it really, I'm building this for the way I think that the best of the best are going to be thinking about working with AI. So I'm just going to start sharing my screen now. So we came up with a completely different sort of interface that allows you to have a much more flexible way of dealing with AI. And we're gonna spend most time on this today. Okay, it's called Satori. So if you can see here, this is more of a canvas style interface, and the whole canvas is now an AI powered canvas here. What that means is it's multimodal. It images, videos, books, YouTube, chat interface, connect to the internet. This is all a part of this canvas. And so what you can do here is drag and drop things on the canvas instead of just being a typer, a prompt engineer. Okay. So when I was working with AI, I really wanted to be able to quickly add the things that I need in order to get the work done. So as an example, I don't want to just talk to a ChatGPT or an AI. I want to get like real human wisdom. You guys, Steve, you guys were talking about like Gary Vee or whatnot here. So like I want to be able to look up, any book that we have, in the 40 million books that we have inside this library here. So you can just look up a book, drag it on. You see it's now connected to this AI. So now this AI has read this book, and now it can help you do anything you want, like using the strategies, the techniques, anything out of this book. So these are in context. What you're going to see here is that we have this kind of drag and drop connectivity thing. So you're able to give your AI the stuff that it needs to get to work on instead of just prompting and just talking to it. Okay. So let me show you a little bit more here. So you see we have persona, what we call a context blocks, files, your contacts, images, YouTube, and books. Okay. Now it's unlimited. So you want to give your AI a couple of books and you say, hey, what's the difference between this book and that book? Right? You can do those sorts of things. Or if you want to do marketing, but it's like giving your marketer this book and saying, hey, before we work on the social media content, read the Purple Cow, and then we'll do it together. Right? That's what you did. You get an entirely different strategy from your AI when you give it this sort of context rather than just say, act as a marketer with a social media expert and blah, 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 blah. Okay. So the difference between the way we approach things and the way most companies is we understand that AI is not just it's just generic unless you give it something to work off of. But yet everybody's just saying ChatGPT, act as a marketer, and every listing description sounds the freaking same, doesn't it? Right? So let me just give you an example here. So hey, Izzy, I need to work on my social media for this morning, and I really want it to sound specifically pointed at homebuyers today. Working in the Portland, Oregon market, I really want to have a social media strategy that's focused on getting homebuyers off the fence. There's a couple things that are happening here. One, I did not even choose. We've got all these different models here as well. So if you want to talk to ChatGPT, you can. If you want to talk to Gemini, you can. If you want Claude to work on it, you can. And you don't have to have descriptions to all of them. You have subscription to Huzi, and then use all of our APIs. And so you just have one consolidated subscription. You don't have to go get the API clean, plug it in, or anything like that. The most difficult part of this whole process is being clear as a leader of your business of what you're trying to do. Because if you sit down here and it's like, I don't know what it could do for me, that's because you don't know what you need done in your business, right? Is that fair, you guys? The whole idea is, well, maybe you just don't know. Oh, great. Now you've got a thought partner. So the way let me just show you how crazy, like I set time. So here we go. I was working on a social media strategy this weekend. And so I just have one AI here. I'm just talking about, we're generating images. We're kind of chatting strategy. This one over here is doing some online research for me. I'm chatting about it. I like this photo. So you just drag it onto the canvas now, and now you have the photo that you can work with. Okay. And then I was like, oh, well, now I like these images. These are the images I want. So I dragged another AI. I connected this AI and I said, now write my content for me based on these images. The difference between this sort of relationship with the AI and the way most people prompt ChatGPT is with ChatGPT, a lot of people are making themselves a middleman. They're copying and pasting prompts. And how long does prompting and pasting have value? So I'll show you a couple more examples here. Like in this example, I was working with somebody and what you can see here. So, and this is, we're getting ready to release video. So now you can like produce video. Like so you can go from an idea to an image to a video in a really cool way. And you see this little note here because the other thing about AI is you should be able to collaborate with the AI and with each other. Okay. So what I mean by that is you see like this little tag says shared with me. You see this little blue marker here that says shared with me. So we can actually share boards here. So if you want to work real time with somebody on your team to produce the virtual staging for a new listing or to do photo editing or creating marketing copy, you can share the board and work in real time collaboration here on the screen with each other. The other cool thing, some of our users, they're now collaborating with their clients. So they're putting the offer on the board. They're putting the HOA documents here on the board. They're dragging and dropping the title report on the board. They're sharing it with their client. And now the client has chat access with all those documents in this real visible way. And they're saying, hey, can I park my boat there? Can I have my home-based business here? When is closing? Right? And they're able to have this like 24/7 representative of all the information about your transaction here on a board as well, which they love that immersive experience, right? They love that transparency. So I want you to think about this as a collaboration partner for you and a workstation for you, but also a really neat where to share your ideas and collaborate with your team as well. So as an example, I just want to show you here, when you say can it, the answer is probably yes, right? Can you take an empty, image and create beautiful staging with it? Absolutely, right? So again, this is multiple models. You can mix and match things very powerfully. And again, don't think of this as a technology revolution. This is really a creativity revolution, is really what AI is. You don't have to be technical to do these things. You just have to be clear on what your intent is, and you have to be able to be resourceful with yourself. And because all you can do is sit down with AI. You're like, I don't know how to do this. Cool. Let me drag a little AI in here. Just ask questions. Like, how do I do this? What should I do next? So a lot of times I use a little hack cam, and I'll put another AI over here, and let me just see what I can do here. Let me go. Prompt engineering. Here we go. Is a prompt engineering book. Okay, great. Hey, Huzi, generate a prompt for me that will help me research the Portland area market. I want to understand the mortgage rates, the current stats for the luxury market, and anything happening with any new tax measures or anything happening with this with Multnomah County. You can just simply build up another AI by dragging and dropping and telling it, and now I have this perfectly well-written prompt for me, right? And I can just copy and paste that into this AI and now have this like collaboration between you, and you are acting as the conductor here. Let me show you what this template actually is here. So this is a really popular one that a lot of real estate agents are using today. Let me see here, show the entire board. So this one is when you get a deal, when a transaction actually comes in, there's three steps that I have. This is the way that I've set one up for a customer. I want to review. This is the offer here. This is my AI assistant, and this is the contact record of the person, my seller, my client here. This is just a place so I put my information, so I'm not sharing anybody else's. But this would be like I'm doing this for Kim, I'm doing this for Richie, I'm doing this for Todd. How you get that, by the way, is you literally just here all your contacts. Great, add Sharon, and now my AI is connected to all of Sharon's records that I have in my database for her. Okay, so just be clear how we're doing that. Now, as an agent, by the way, me and my team, we did like $4 billion worth of sales across multiple states. And we sold a lot of houses. And so I have a particular way where I like to evaluate an offer. An offer comes in, I want to do a complete analysis of the offer. So what you're seeing here, this is a little text box where I wrote my system prompt for how I want an offer evaluated one time. Now it's sitting here on this board, and anytime I need this, I just drag and drop my offer on the board, and I just tell this AI to run prompt number one. And it runs prompt number one. You see this? And then it just breaks down the offer in the exact way that I've asked the AI, and I've now trained the AI to break down this offer for me. So I know exactly, I'll expand this a little bit here. So I can see exactly what was in this offer that I wanted. And by the way, how cool is this when you have multiple offers? Drag both lines over to the AI, have them compare and contrast, break them down for you, help make sure you don't miss something, that one's business days or one's, calendar days, all of those sorts of things. It can check your work really quickly, really fast by just being able to drag and drop. So I was happy with number one. I said, great. Now run prompt number two. Prompt number two here is now market research. Because before the minute I like to look at an offer, I want to quickly make sure that I'm not missing something. So I send my AI out there. It does a full multi-step, search. It checks all these different resources for what's happening in the market, so I can make sure that I'm not just relying on only my MLS data. That I've got a really nice, robust, like what's happening in the market, what's happening in this area, what is there things that I'm missing. Because again, if our customers are thinking they know more than us, and if they have access to ChatGPT, don't bring a knife to a gunfight, you guys. Everything in your business you can actually templatize, put it on a board, and then you have access to it any way you want. It's flexible. You can make changes, you can drag and drop, you can share it, you can clone it, you can use it with your team, you can use it with your clients. It's very powerful when you really start to just sit down and go, okay, what do I need to done? What's the most important 10% part of my activities I need to do for my client? You build a template around it one time and it becomes this automated workhorse, you guys. Huzi does grow with you. So as you use it, it's actually storing like all of your database stores and now it knows more and more and more about you. So actually the more you use it, the better it gets at personalizing towards you. So the other thing I want you to see here, like, so we have YouTube videos. One of the best use cases a lot of our users are enjoying is the fact that success leaves clues. There's people in markets that you're not in that are doing a really good job that you like to aspire to be. Like they do their listing presentations a certain way or the way they make their videos. So there's nothing to say that you can't, throw all the videos here on this board and then transform those best practices into you. So there's a viral video that popped off in Vegas, and you're somebody in Miami, Florida, and you want to figure out how to make it relevant for Miami, Florida. Drag in again. Let me just to show you exactly how it is. You just enter the URL of the YouTube video here. I'll just pick one. Okay, here's one. Put it on the board, and now you can say, "Teach me how to do this in Miami. What worked about this video that made it viral in Vegas? Rewrite this for me so I can make the same script for my market in Miami." So I'd like you to really think about AI as a transformation, not just consumption, but how do I take something, a best practice out of a video, a book, and then transform it what you need and then execute, right? And then get to making money. That's the real power here. It's not just consumption, but I love it for education. My daughter, by the way, both my kids are in college now. They put their textbooks on here, but they put the videos of the class. They watch it as a tutorial. They connect it to their AI, and now they've got a built-in tutor here, just like that, right? The other part of this is sometimes we need to be somebody in our business. We need to be the LinkedIn copywriter. We need to be the operations manager. We need to be the clinical psychologist for a divorced couple. We wear a lot of hats in this business, fair? Okay. So what we're working on as well are something that we call personas. So, what you'll see there's you can build a new persona, or we have a library of your personas. What these are, think about these as your little mini AI employees. Okay, so let me just start with a brand new board here, and let's just use a real common, easy thing to understand. We want to write a listing description, right? But you don't want it to sound like ChatGPT wrote it. So maybe you spend some time here and let's build one. A listing description expert that doesn't use the word delves. You can literally give any instructions that you want to this persona. You can say, I want it to write it this way. I want it to be, knowledgeable in the Las Vegas market. I want it to really specialize in NLP language, whatever it is that you want your AI employee to regenerate your listing descriptions. You build it one time, and then what actually is Huzi's doing actually is building based on my prompt. It built this little description of what this AI acts like. So now this is my property, expert here. You can make changes to it. You can give it any system prompts. And now anytime you want, this AI assistant tunes this AI to turn into this persona for you. So let's say that you wanted to have an AI assistant that always helped you do the market research every Monday morning. I would build a persona here one time. That's my Monday morning market researcher. And then you treat it exactly one time. And now, anytime you need it, you just open your personas. You say, I'm ready for my Monday morning guy. You drag it here. And now you have an AI assistant on any board that turns into your Monday morning researcher. Okay. So we're developing the next version of these. You're going to be able to train it with documentation, with videos, with files. And so, for instance, if you've got a bunch of videos of how to buy a house as a new home buyer, and you want to give all of those videos to your home buying agent here, you're going to be able to do that. And now it's an expert on all of your home buying videos. There's a bunch of resources for you. First resource, we have a full learning center here. So we do a class every other week. We have live trainers that are experts in the real estate space, a best-selling author. Both have been brokerage owners and large team leaders of various brokerages. They're on my team here in the real estate space. They do training. We also have a live Q&A call where my technical person just sits on a live Zoom call for office hours. You can hop in, say, I have a question, I don't know how to do something. He can help you provide support there. All of our classes, all of our training here is all in this learning center. So we've got how-tos and recorded classes all right here in this robust learning center. There's also a community inside here. So all the members, you can ask that, like, here's somebody, like he needed help. Great. He posts in here, the staff helps him, and we get back to him, in that way, right? You can register for classes here, register for live community calls. So there's a lot of hand holding and human support in addition to just the tool itself. We do have a full settings panel. By the way, you can control, like you can get notifications when different things are happening, so you can email you or put them in your alert tray over here. We have an integration where we currently have an integration with KV Core, and I just had a great meeting with Follow Up Boss and Zillow the other day about the Follow Up Boss integration that we'll be doing as well. So it's not done yet, but we will have a Follow Up Boss integration by the end of the year. Those of you that do Zoom meetings in the next probably 30 days, the minute your Zoom meeting is over, your transcripts will be loaded here into Huzi for you. So you can drag and drop your transcripts on Satori and interact with any of your last meetings, help you with follow up or remind you what you need to do or create a deliverable for your client using all the Zoom meeting notes as well. Our view is that we believe in democratizing access to AI. I don't believe in centralized AI at all because this is a big gap creator, you guys. Those that have access to powerful AI and those that don't, there's a two different worlds happening. We got to put our money, our wallets, our mouths, our feet, our hands to work for our customers. We have a few seats available. Everything I'm showing you today is $300 for the year right now. Okay, for a couple more seats. So I'm not showing you something that's $1,000 or something crazy, right? $300 for the year is what we're really, just to be super clear. Okay. And that's for a limited time. We're going to be changing prices here in a little bit, but I do have some more seats at that price for you guys. And I'm really grateful that you had me on today. So thank you guys.